Hello, hello. I hope you are doing well today on this Wednesday afternoon. Here we're back on Crypto Women Wednesdays, and we're back for some more updates. And specifically today in the video, we're talking about smart contracts and Ethereum, and something that I use every single day, the Ethereum blockchain, because my cryptocurrency TMNG and the TMN Global project is on the Ethereum blockchain. That is our first blockchain that we are starting out with. And there's even possibility that TMNG could be on other blockchains in the future, like Polygon. Um, or we're going to be developing our own blockchain. And that's something that's super, super exciting. So we're actually going to start out with what are the updates for TMNG. And actually today is a very, very special day because it's launch day. And I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to bring something up here that I would like to present. And let's see if I can get this. Ooh, I have to upload this. Give me just a second here. Smart contract. I have a special presentation prepared actually for you all today. And it's something that I whipped together specifically for Crypto Women Wednesdays because I want to be very clear on what we're talking about. And give me just a minute as I get rid of these things. It's processing as we speak. And I'm going to pull this up, but today is launch day at TMN Global, and headquarters at TMN Global has been having a blast. We're here. Oh, now you can see what I'm talking about. So this is Crypto One Wednesdays, and how do I go to the next slide? Oh, here it is. So our agenda for today is TMNG staking launch, which is super, super exciting news for the TMN Global project. Like I said, TMN Global headquarters has been running all around like chickens with our heads cut off because it's chaos in the chat right now. It's good chaos though. It's not a negative thing whatsoever. It's really exciting because there's been a partnership with CrowdSwap. And so I'm going to show you the next slide in just a second. So we'll go through the agenda and then we'll jump into the big launch that has been happening today with TMN Global. So TMNG staking launch, we're going to talk about that first, the details that entails. Also, we're going to talk about smart contracts. I'm going to give you a little crash course on what exactly smart contracts are, where they come from, a little bit of history about Ethereum as well, the Ethereum overview, and how all of that kind of ties together. So today is launch day. Launch day. So I have a picture here, CrowdSwap staking launch day. There's a picture of a rocket ship in the background because this is the day where TMNG tokens can be staked on the crowdswap.org platform. So CrowdSwap is a decentralized exchange based out of Germany. And they're a really great exchange, decentralized finance, which is really great for our fans of DeFi. And you can actually go on the platform and stake your TMNG tokens, and you can earn on those tokens that go in there. So staking means you lock your tokens in for a period of time, and then you can earn on the TMNG tokens. So the APY for that is 18%. It's really great to be able to use TMNG on this platform and be able to earn with TMNG tokens. Is a huge, huge step for my team and for me personally. This is really exciting to be partnering with our very first exchange and being in the blockchain industry for as long as I've been now, for the last few years, working full time with this project. It's really exciting now. Everything this year is starting to break through. Everything this year is really happening. And even you can see a lot of good things are happening, even with the pump that is going on with Bitcoin and Ethereum. There are things happening, good things happening in the cryptocurrency industry. And you just got to keep your eyes open and make sure you're paying attention to all of the positive things that are happening. around the world. I know there's a banking crisis happening. I know the banking crisis has been taking up a lot of the news lately, but there's a yin and a yang to everything in life. And definitely what's going on right now in cryptocurrency is that there's a pump happening. So I hope you all can get a chance to take advantage of that. Me and my team definitely are taking advantage of it. And it's an exciting time. So we're going to jump into what is a smart contract. This image here states that smart contracts are a self-executing contract with the terms of the agreement being between the buyer and the seller being directly written into lines of code. So thank you, Investopedia, for this picture. But something that really makes smart contracts special, that makes it different than a normal contract. A normal contract, that you have to sign something and you go to a notary, or you have someone there as a witness to make sure that everything is secure. Well, this particular type of contract is definitely game changing because it removes the need for a third party. Therefore, it is written into lines of code what should be executed within that contract. So there's many different applications for different types of smart contracts, and the point is that you do not need a third party to approve that the contract can be used, and we can move forward with the contract. And here's another definition: that a smart contract is a self-executing program that automates the actions required in an agreement or a contract. Once completed, the transactions are trackable and immutable. So, meaning you can actually track everything that happens with that contract, and it can't be changed after it's been written into code. It's been put into movement, put into action. You cannot go back and reverse what you've done with that. And so there are actually smart contract auditors. For example, TMN Global has a smart contract since TMNG is based on the Ethereum blockchain, and we actually had to pay extra. We had to go and find a smart contract auditor to double, triple, quadruple check and make sure that our smart contract that we wrote, the code was 100% perfect before it was set in stone. And so it's really important that your smart contract, the code, is correct. And if you're wondering who first came up with smart contracts, because we hear about smart contracts a lot now in the blockchain world, right? But that's not really that wasn't really the first. Like, Ethereum wasn't the very first time that we've heard of smart contracts. Actually, we heard about it a long time ago. And so the question is, who first invented or discovered smart contracts or coined the name? And the answer to that is Nick Szabo. From my research, from what I found, Nick Szabo was the first to coin the word smart contracts. And that was proposed in the early 1990s, believe it or not. Isn't that crazy to think that the 1990s, this guy was talking about smart contracts, and he was talking about cryptography and digital security and things like that. And so he coined the term, and he used it to refer to a set of promises specified in digital form, including protocols within which the parties perform on these promises. So, meaning, just like any contract that you sign, a marriage contract or a contract to get a loan, or a contract to buy a house, or any contract that you would need to sign for any reason, could be potentially added to the blockchain and could become a smart contract, meaning we're taking away that third party that's involved. And you know what's really funny and what's really interesting about Nick Szabo, and I'm going to go to the next slide because it's going to show what he looks like. This is Nick Szabo. He came out with something called BitGold, and he's a computer scientist. And it's really interesting that in the 1990s, he was talking about this technology. And then Bitcoin came out in 2000, was it 2008? I think it was 2008. Bitcoin came out. Let me just double check that. I should know when Bitcoin came out, but for some reason I'm like, did Bitcoin come out in 2008, 2012? I'm Googling it. In 2008. I was right. Why should I doubt myself? October 31st, 2008. And technically the currency began in 2009. So for some reason I had 2012. Oh, because Ethereum came out in 2013. So anyway, so Nick Szabo is this guy, computer scientist that came out. He coined the term smart contract, and it's really interesting that he was the one back in the day that said that this is this technology and this is possible. This is what's out there. And I put in here possible Satoshi Nakamoto. And if any of you guys know anything about cryptocurrency, Satoshi Nakamoto is this fictitious name or this anonymous person that created Bitcoin. Nobody knows truly who created Bitcoin. And there are all of these speculations. There's all of these videos online, so much so much discussion about who truly is the real Satoshi Nakamoto. And this guy really could be Satoshi Nakamoto. He was talking about smart contracts. He came out with BitGold. His name even could kind of go along with Satoshi Nakamoto, S as the last name and N as the first name. It would be reversed. There's a lot of speculation. I think there's even some videos online about the possibility that this guy could be Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin. However, like I said, it's just speculation. We don't know for sure. And but he was the one who coined the term smart contract. And then the first platform to actually integrate smart contracts is Ethereum. And if you know about Ethereum and you've been around cryptocurrency, then you know this is Ethereum. This is Vitalik Buterin. And Vitalik Buterin is a computer scientist, and he is the guy who wrote the white paper for Ethereum and came up with this idea. And kind of a little story, which I'm not sure who all of you know this, but Vitalik used to be a hardcore World of Warcraft player. And so as a kid, he was playing World of Warcraft, and then the creators of the game took away something really special in the game, and it really pissed him off. Like, he was like, how is it possible that they could just take this away from me? And I'm not even sure what it is because I've never played World of Warcraft, but the story goes that's when Vitalik first understood that centralized entities had too much power. And this was just about a game. Like, he was just playing World of Warcraft, and that was like his epiphany or like his aha moment that centralized entities are a bad thing and that we should do something about it. And so as he got into the world of cryptography and he dedicated his life into going into this industry, he actually found back when he was he was a writer for a really big publication about Bitcoin. And he realized as he was traveling all over the world, being a writer, being in the industry, that people were so focused on the application of cryptocurrency, but no one was focused on the expansion of how we were going to make how we were going to offer global adoption or mass adoption of cryptocurrency there, because there's no platform that offers a way where a lot of people could get on easily and quickly. And so he came up with Ethereum. And so Ethereum is a blockchain that allows for smart contracts and allows you to build on this blockchain businesses and to create all these different smart contracts to be able to carry out their promises between parties with these digital codes. And so Ethereum is a longer version, but the word ether comes from the Latin root aether. And that means the upper pure bright air. And ether was originally a scientific term for what 19th century physicists called the fifth element. And it's a substance that was said to fill all space and make up all bodies. modern times, ether has come to be a literary term that refers to the sky. So this is where Vitalik Buterin got the name Ethereum, was from. I think he found it through science fiction. There's many books and different pop culture items that talk about ether, and so he was very much inspired by that. Now I'm going to pull up. These are the characteristics of what a smart contract is and why it's so important. So I'm just going to read them off. So a smart contract is autonomous. So it offers automation, which means no third party can make changes or decisions or agreements. So that is super important because, and I'm actually going to take this banner down so you can see exactly what I'm looking at here. There we go. So it's autonomous. So it takes care of itself. It within the code, the smart contract lists out what needs to be done. And once one party completes that item, then the code is carried out. So for example, a customer or a client must complete, let's say an employee or a third party service that you work with has to complete something A within the contract in order to get paid. And once they complete this item, then automatically they'll get paid because that automatically fulfills the smart contract. And so it's also something, so it's automatic. So it's not something that has to be manually done where like the person does the thing and then they have to tell the person that's paying them, and then the employer or the business actually pays them. But no, it's automatically done, which makes it a seamless process. It's also secure. So it enables processes to complete securely. Also, encryption makes them work as intended. So very secure because cryptography is designed to be something that protects that data that's within the code. And so it's interruption free. So if the smart contract starts execution, they cannot be interrupted or stopped. So once you put the smart contract in motion, once the code is set in motion, you cannot go back and change it. You'd have to create a whole new smart contract to override the original one. And that ensures that it's not going to be, that's not able to change. So where like if you have a physical contract that you've signed, maybe digitally, if someone goes and changes something, it's a lot harder to track the changes in a physical contract as opposed to a coded smart contract. It's much more secure and immutable that way. Trustless. There is no need to trust other parties to carry out a transaction. It does not require trust as an integral part. This is huge. It's a huge part of just blockchain technology in general, but definitely in smart contracts, because you don't need to go to a notary. You don't need to go to another person to say, here, I need a professional eyewitness to make sure that this contract is everything that I'm saying it is and that I agree to the terms and the conditions. No, you just plug in your digital wallet and you agree to the terms digitally, and it's done in that way. And so it's really nice because it removes the third party from the mix altogether. It's cost effective. Smart contracts make trades cost effective with the removal of intermediaries. Again, third-party services are no longer needed. Blockchain technology just removes the need for third-party services altogether, which is really cool. Fast performance. Smart contracts get executed faster than the old-fashioned traditional method. All the parameters are predefined within the smart contract, so it only needs to match them before execution. So it's much faster because it's all digital, it's all tracked online or on the blockchain. So smart contracts are all traced and tracked on the blockchain. And so it's makes things really nice in that way. It goes really fast. And then you can always go back and look and track exactly what was done via the blockchain. So in this situation, the Ethereum blockchain, although now there's other blockchains that have come out that also use smart contracts. Ethereum was the first one, so we're talking about Ethereum today. It is accurate. Smart contracts are error-free. The only thing that you need is to code them correctly. So going back what I was saying before is that my company paid like an extra 5 figures to get our smart contract audited so that it was 100% perfect before we put it in motion. Because if the code is wrong, then you're going to have to make a whole new smart contract. And if you have a lot of people involved in your project, that can be really, really annoying for all of those people to have to agree to that contract over. So it's really important that you just get it right the first time and you don't have to do anything over again. So if you're wondering, okay, that was like a lot, Bex. That was a lot of information. What are the applications in real life for smart contracts? Well, I'm going to show you because I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm going to show you exactly the applications for smart contracts, which are here. This is a short list. There's a lot more, but just for time purposes and just for understanding purposes, we're just going to talk about these ones. Supply chain management. I learned a lot about this in my MBA courses. And some of you might be experiencing this if you work for a manufacturer or you work for a retailer, big retailer, or big corporate company that has a supply chain. Supply chain management is much better and more efficiently managed using smart contracts and using blockchain technology because communication is faster. Everything is securely transferred, transmitted, tracked, it's traced. It is so much easier without all of that paperwork to just do it on the blockchain. So that's the first example. Also, property ownership. I'll give you an example. Actually, in my home state, Florida, the United States of America, there was a house sold using a smart contract on the blockchain. A actual physical house was sold, and I'm sure since then there's been other properties that have been sold or large items that have been sold via smart contracts. This is something that is happening right now. It's not something that is like that has happened in the past or I mean is something that's going to happen in the future, like a long, long time from now. No, it's happening right as we speak. And it's something that you could benefit to know about because smart contracts are really all around us now. Medical records. This is something that I really need because being someone who's traveling internationally, trying to keep track of records of that paper trail is sometimes really difficult. When were all of my vaccines done? When was the last time I went to the dentist? When did I do all of these things? And medical records is a great way to use the blockchain and to use smart contracts because that's a way you can have a traceable, trackable record of everything that all of your records over time. And I'm sure there's other records that could benefit from this technology as well. Payment solutions, something that my company is using right now is that TMNG is a payment token. So our smart contract, the standard smart contract on the Ethereum blockchain, and it is we are a virtual asset service provider. So we're offering a virtual currency to give people the ability to pay excuse me, to give people the ability to pay for physical, tangible assets, physical things, items. And it's a payment solution via the blockchain, via a smart contract that we agree we have coded and that we have on the Ethereum blockchain. And it allows our customers to be able to redeem their tokens for physical, tangible assets. So that is one example of how a smart contract is being used for payment solutions. Also, security solutions. As we all know, we are living in the digital age, the digital world where a lot of our data is at risk, and there's a huge lawsuit or legal situation going on right now with TikTok in America. They're saying, "Oh, are we going to ban TikTok?" And there's all of these government officials who are arguing their case for why we should ban TikTok because China is spying on us or whatever. And if our data is protected via the blockchain, via smart contracts, that wouldn't even be a conversation that we're having because we would own our data 100%. The problem being right now that in the e-commerce web 2 world, we don't own our data that we are online trading and using every day. The data that we have online is owned by the entities, by the e-commerce sites that is collecting that data. So social media is a great example of how they're collecting so much demographic data. They're collecting user preference data. There's so much more data, I'm sure, that they're collecting that would make the government worried about the data that's being collected. However, if it was on the Web3 universe, it was on the blockchain, if they were using a smart contract and all of the users on those channels owned their own data, this would never be an issue at all with privacy or security because it would be run on a smart contract or on the blockchain. So yeah, that is like the end of my presentation. There, it's done. Okay, I'm gonna make this go away somehow. Okay, bye, the presentation slides. So yeah, so that is the crash course about smart contracts. I hope that was clear to you all about exactly what smart contracts are all about. The main thing you need to take away from this is that smart contracts remove the third party. They remove the need for a third person to be there or to be involved when two people or two entities are wanting to agree on terms or wanting to move forward with a contract. And so there's some really amazing technology that's being developed right now. And I work in the blockchain industry. My company is a blockchain company. And so we work very much alongside the Ethereum blockchain. We work with smart contracts all the time. And it's something that's becoming more and more normal, I think, in our world. But yeah, that's the intro, the overview about Ethereum and smart contracts. And also check out the staking features that we have now on TMN Global. I hope to see you around in the community. We have a Telegram group. You can come and check it out. And yeah, thanks for tuning in and watching this episode of Crypto Woman Wednesdays. I will see you all next week in our next episode. I am wanting to kind of cut it down shorter and shorter so the videos get straight to the point and you only get the meat of the video that I'm making. I was doing like an hour video before. Now I'm kind of cutting it down to 30 minutes. And I think I might even go down to 15 minutes because really there's no need for me to be talking this much unless y'all want me to, which I'll wait and see what the feedback is. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you all in the digital world and in the next video very soon. So take care, and I'll talk to you later.